There is a moment that happens in almost every room. Someone is talking, loudly, confidently, saying something that is not quite right, and the quiet person already has the answer, has had it for the last 30 seconds. But they don't say anything yet. They wait. They turn it over one more time. And then, when they finally speak, the room goes quiet for a second. People listen differently. Almost nobody has asked why. Here is what most people assume about quiet people: that they don't have much to say, that the silence is empty, that if you could just get them talking, really talking, you'd find someone ordinary underneath. This assumption is so common and so completely wrong. Quiet people are not people with less going on. They are people with more going on than they ever put into words. And that difference between what is happening inside and what gets said out loud is exactly where their power comes from. Psychology has a name for what quiet people do naturally. It's called processing depth. While most people speak as they think, working out their ideas in real time through conversation, quiet people do something different. They think before they speak, not because they are slow, because they are thorough. Every word gets tested internally before it leaves. Every idea gets examined from multiple angles before it's offered to the room. This takes longer. It looks like silence from the outside. But what is actually happening is one of the most sophisticated cognitive processes a human brain can run. And here is where it gets interesting, because this habit, thinking before speaking, does not develop randomly. For most quiet people, it developed in response to something. Maybe they spoke and were dismissed. Maybe their words were used against them. Maybe they learned early that speaking too quickly, too openly, came with a cost. So they adapted. They became selective, not with their thoughts, those kept coming, but with what they chose to release. Over time, that selectivity became a filter, and that filter became the thing that makes a quiet person's words land differently when they finally use them. There is something else happening too. Quiet people listen in a way most people don't, not nodding along while building their next sentence, actually listening. They track what was said 20 minutes ago. They notice when your voice shifts. They catch the moment you glossed over something quickly, which almost always means it mattered. This means when they do speak, they are speaking from a much fuller picture of the room than anyone else has. They are not reacting. They are responding. And the difference between those two things in how words land is everything. There is a particular kind of moment quiet people carry privately. The fully formed response developed in real time, tested, refined, and then abandoned. Because the moment passed. Because someone else said the obvious version and got the credit. And the quiet person is left holding something more precise with nowhere to put it. This happens constantly, and almost nobody around them ever sees it. But when the moment is right, when something crosses whatever internal threshold exists between keeping it and saying it, those words carry something different. Not louder, not more confident, just more considered. The people in the room feel it even if they couldn't explain why. It's because those words have been lived in before they were released. They already know exactly what they mean. And maybe that is what matters most about quiet people. They are not waiting to become more talkative. They are not a project to be fixed. They are not failing at conversation. They are doing something constantly that looks like nothing from the outside, processing the world at a depth that ordinary small talk genuinely cannot hold. And the next time someone goes quiet in a room full of noise, they are not absent. They are paying more attention than anyone else there. They always are.